The very first big Battlefield 1 patch has arrived, and it is a big one. Lots of changes, additions, balancing, and before we get stuck in, a little update on the headphones Easter egg too. The patch has changed things slightly. A secret MCOM has been found on Ballroom Blitz and headphones also, so they were added in with the patch. And if you now take the headphones over to the MCOM, it plays a different, much clearer Morse code message that when decoded says "previous message corrupted, await further instructions." It looks like the Morse code in the game before was broken then, and we're to await the next stage, possibly to come in the free DLC map Giant Shadow in December. Also, now when you walk away from the MCOM, it explodes. The Discord community is hard at work attempting to discover if anything else has been added to the game. So then, onto gameplay, massive changes in this patch. Let's not waste any more time, let's get stuck in. I think the best place to start with is what's changed, and well, like I said, it was a big list, I wasn't kidding. If you want to see every single balance change, then I will link the patch notes down below, but I'm going to cover what I believe are the main and important changes here. Firstly, we get to see a big change on the map Suez. Now the map is 5 flags instead of the old 3 flag version. It has to be said that while some people appreciate the grind on this map, it wasn't liked by the majority of people. Now hopefully with these changes perhaps it can be a bit more balanced. The 3 flags that were on the old version are still in the same place, with an addition of 2 more either side where the spawns of each team used to be. So now we've got 5 flags in a very linear fashion, and the spawns have moved back to accommodate this. The idea of course is to spread out the play across the extra flags, rather than having the entire player base of the server competing over the central part of the map. Honestly, only a good amount of playtime will be able to tell if this is going to make the map any better in the long term, but I would have preferred the flags to be added in a much less linear way. But let's give it a chance and see how it plays out in the next few days. As well as the flag change, the village flags, so that's B and D in the new layout, have had their cap radius reduced slightly to make them easier to capture, and if a team does get spawn trapped, there's now an armoured car that can be used to break out. As well as the change to Suez, we've also got some changes to operations. Firstly, the attackers are going to find it a bit easier now in both 40 and 64 player operations. They're getting more attacking tickets, 250 64 player and 200 in 40 player, up from the original 150. It's now also easier to capture an operations flag as the time it takes to capture it has been reduced. As well as that, the amount of tickets regained has increased from 30 to 50, and you'll gain more tickets for killing retreating defenders. Overall, this change is obviously designed to make an attacking team's job easier. I have to say that in my personal experience, attacking was already mostly fine. I'd definitely say that I won more games attacking than I lost, but the data that DICE have shows them that overall the defending team had a big win percentage, so hence the change. The squad leader system has had some love as well now, and the squad leader demotion system in place from previous games is now in. That means that if the squad leader ignores requests for orders from their squad, then the leadership will be transferred to another member of that squad. When a squad member requests an order and there isn't an active order received, the requesting player will be added to the want to be a leader queue, as it's called, and if 60 seconds pass and the leader hasn't done their job, then the first person in the queue will become the leader of the squad. So what about weapon balance? Well, LMGs are the start of this patch really. They have had various adjustments to make them more viable and attractive to use. Their aimed accuracy has been increased, as well as increased suppression at medium ranges. The Lewis gun and the Hoyt have also had their first shot recoil multiplier reduced, and the low weight versions gain accuracy much faster now during fire. The entire purpose of this change is hopefully to get more players using the LMGs, and hopefully it's going to work. Other weapons have had tweaks as well. The Hellriegel, for instance, overheats a bit slower but has had a more horizontal recoil added, and there's also been some minor tweaks to some of the scout weapons, but nothing too drastic. The mortar as well has also had a significant change. If you're using the mortar, you now have to choose really between slow and accurate fire or fast inaccurate fire. When you deploy a mortar now, there's a short amount of time before they are fully accurate. If you try and fire it straight away, it's going to be pretty inaccurate, but the longer you wait, the more accurate the shot will become. It takes around 4 seconds to be completely accurate. There's also an inaccuracy penalty for firing multiple shots quickly. quickly. As well as that, the radius of airburst mortars has been reduced. You'll now need a much more accurate shot to do their full 65 damage. So when you're firing the mortars, pay attention to the minimap as it's going to display the inaccuracy there. The red dot only appears when it's at maximum accuracy, and lastly, both mortar types can also fire a smoke mortar as well as their default rounds. Next, vehicles and anti-air. A very welcome change, no doubt, that will be the reduction of damage against planes from the AA cannons. I know this has been a real issue for some people with the AAs being a little bit overpowered. The AA trucks range has also had a reduction to bring that in line with the stationary AAs. Guys, wait for it. The quit button is now available at any time when in the end of round screen. Hallelujah. More importantly though, the game has had several CPU and Dx12 optimizations that should hopefully make the performance a lot better for most people. I know some people have had issues there. As well as that, an issue has been fixed where destroyed buildings could affect CPU performance that in turn would have a big effect on players' frames per second. Most people should see a more stable performance overall. As well as all of the balance changes, we've had some really big additions. Finally, we've got the rent-a-server program. I can't tell you how frustrating it is for me to try and record things on a live server. I imagine that cinematic producers out there will be having a party right now for making machinimas. Of course, communities will be able to run their own servers and tweak the rules as well, so we will be seeing some sort of custom server playlist with custom rules. It's not entirely clear though at the moment what constitutes as a ranked or unranked server, so hopefully DICE clear that up. Don't expect anything mad though like BF4, as Battlefield 1 is definitely more restricted in what server owners can do to make sure that players have a more consistent experience. Everyone has been waiting for this to be added and it's finally here. Just to clarify though, it was disabled while the update went live, so I can't say for sure when this video goes out if the functionality will be turned on. Apparently it's coming at some point today, so maybe it's even in there right now. There are of course some negatives though. Firstly, it looks like you can't actually kick and ban players, which restricts your control somewhat. If there's someone in there causing problems in the server, trolling, cheating, whatever, that's going to be an issue. Imagine that you're paying for a server but you've got actually zero control right now to kick someone who's maybe cheating. It's not ideal. Unfortunately, it looks like the party that cinematic producers thought they'd be having is a bit premature, because currently you won't be able to password protect rented servers. That's madness to me. And unfortunately that functionality won't be arriving until the next patch. Custom game modes have also been added. Currently we've got Hardcore, which has been a big request by lots of people in the community, and Fog of War, a team deathmatch mode of sorts where you've got no spotting or minimap and you've got to find kills in, well, the fog. Other additions, well, now you can get XP boosts in battle packs, squad XP boosts in fact. This time around you get boosts that will aid your entire squad, so utilising them with your friends could be pretty handy. You can now buy battle packs now if you want to as well via the store tab in game, but I warn you that they are pretty pricey. You can now customize your soldier from the menu without heading into a game. Head to the soldier tab and you can change up your weapons or gadgets for your classes without wasting precious time in game. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like you can change vehicle setups and skins in here, just infantry customization right now, but maybe the vehicle stuff will come at a later date. Overall, on first impressions, I think this patch is a very good one. There are some brilliant changes, additions and tweaks ranging from performance to balance, and plenty of bug fixes. The rent-a-server program is finally on its way, as well as new custom game modes and a ton of fixes and tweaks. In the next patch though, I'd love to see some tweaks to gas, maybe a reduction in the amount of gas grenades you can hold, as well as a fix for gas doing damage through walls, and of course the Hunter A10 shotgun, still a beast, and I definitely think it's a bit too good at range. Also, the spectator mode still doesn't seem to have made its way in, at least it wasn't mentioned in the patch notes, so I imagine that will make an appearance in the next update, or perhaps even during Battlefest when that kicks off next week. Right then, that's all for the video guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a thumbs up and let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.